dig more into this with Frédéric Bérard. He's a political commentator at the Université de Montréal. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, because it is very interesting. Just one vote, as we heard Linda just tell us, that razor-thin margin. Were you surprised when you saw the outcome here and looking at those final numbers that they were just separated by one vote?
Yes, of course. And as we said, I mean, every vote counts, obviously. So I think that some people feel bad today not being able to make it to be sure to vote. I'm surprised a bit, obviously, because it flips like what, three times with the judicial recount. So that means that the first two times were not that tight. We can understand that the night of the election, everyone's under pressure. The second time is a bit more questionable. But one vote, I mean, that will make history. I think it's a first in the recent history of Canada, if I'm right.
But as we also heard Linda just mention, it's not the only riding that is now going to see a recount. What will this mean for the Liberals and their ability to achieve a majority here, that magic number of 172?
I'm quite sure that Mark Carney has his fingers crossed right now, because he's pretty close to a majority territory, as you said. And that would change the whole dynamic in the parliament, obviously, because when you're a majority government, I mean, you have the right to do whatever you like. There's no real opposition. You decide the agenda of the court. You don't need the agenda of the parliament. You don't need to ask for favor. You don't need to trade. You don't need to try to influence that party and the other party. You do whatever you like for 4 years. That would make a huge difference for the Liberals, that's for sure.
Let's talk about what triggers a judicial recount in the first place. In the case of Terrebonne, it was a 44-vote margin. But when are recounts automatically triggered? Can you walk us through what that process is?
Well, actually, when it's obligatory, like mandatory, like in this case, I mean, there's nothing more you can do. I mean, you wait for the court to recount all that and to make, the final decision, and then you're stuck with it. So as I said, I mean, obviously under the rule of law, I'm happy that we have that kind of judicial power that gets in at one point, because it makes sure there will be no allegation from this party or that party, while maybe that the people there in the office were not that independent. That judge is clearly independent, impartial, that's for sure. So frankly, I think it's a pretty good thing under the rule of law. It's pretty good for democracy as well.
When we're looking at such razor-thin margins here, for instance, like that one vote difference in Terrebonne, what do you read into that for parties like the Bloc Québécois or even the Conservatives?
As for the Conservative, I mean, they were never in the race, so we forget about them. The last time that they had some ridings in that area of Quebec was surely during Mulroney's government at the end of the 80s. So that's a pretty long time ago, and the party has nothing to do with Mulroney's at least more than that, 25 years now. As for the Bloc, it's quite different, because frankly, I mean, we see that kind of region is turning towards the Liberal right now, because obviously the question of the election was who would be the best prime minister to face Donald Trump. I mean, that was the only question, I would say. So if I was the Bloc, I would be worried in a sense, because, I mean, the Francophones, Terrebonne is 100% Francophones, or pretty close to. So I would be worried that the Francophones decide to go with the Liberals. But at the same time, I mean, we can explain that saying, well, that was once of a lifetime because of the Trump's question during the election. But probably that next time that would, might be different, obviously, if we don't have those threats from Trump any longer.
We have less than 30 seconds left, but I do want to ask you, as MPs prepare for the next session of Parliament and with other recounts happening in other ridings and other close results, could we see more shifts in the balance of power? What could the potential outcome be here?
Yeah, well, as I said, it's pretty close for the Liberals to get that majority government. So that would change everything. And don't forget, I will not be surprised. I can bet that I would not be surprised that some MPs from the NDP switch and decide to go with the Liberals and to give them the majority they desire. But anyway, I'm not saying this will happen, but I'm pretty sure that some people are discussing right now.
Frédéric Bérard, thank you so much for your time and your insight this morning. He is a political commentator at the Université de Montréal.